Rich Lures and Reggie Fountain as we bring you the Chesapeake Challenge. This area well known for all type. On our course today, turns 1 and 2 will be right by that small island, Fort Carroll, and it'll come back under the Key Bridge. It is a long, oval course. Think NASCAR, you think Baltimore. We're going to start out with Treadwell Motorsports. They continue their chase for the points lead. They're sitting in third. They hope to break it through. Now here's the boat that leads the points even though they haven't won a race in 2 years. Another strong contender, F294, Team Virgin. Baja has a new owner-driver who's more accustomed to race cars.
It's almost identical. You get about as much sliding around on the water as you do in a car, and I just have to learn not to turn the boat so hard.
Here we go, and the yellow flag is up on the pace boat on the course right now. You can see that water stays rough. There's the green flag. Green flag flies. The pace boat will pull off the course. We have got an even start. Look at that. 19 boats taking the start here in Baltimore Harbor.
As they put the throttles down, they just touch the trim up, bring the bow up just a little bit, fly the boat. The Twisted Six has the early advantage.
It is going to be a battle royale, and we can see the jumping out of the water already. And look at this head-on shot as they come around the turn. As the boats in the back of the pack start picking up the wake of the other boats, they start flying.
Don't you think it's not confusing in that turn? You're not just looking at other boats. You're looking at rooster tails. You're looking at chop. In this case, you're looking at a helicopter.
Here we come into the corners again. You can see these guys cutting it hard, trying to get in there close, shorten the race course, and catch up.
Now you see these two formulas. They are defining the course. The lead boat, as he cuts in, he's actually making a lane for the inside boat. He has to leave space by APBA rules, enough space for that second boat to get around that pin.
The 75 is leading.
Here's your lead boat, the F275 Fountain. That is Benny Robertson and Mitch Miller in there. That boat is just perfectly laid out there and sort of hung out to dry, Reggie.
Yes, it is. It's going fast. He's got it balanced just correctly. Behind him, the Utz boat's running a little bit flat. He's trimmed in a little too much, and he's falling a little behind because of that.
The bigger Team Virgin cigarette, the seas are just a little too calm for him today.
Uh-oh, a little bit of problem with the Utz boat. They are sitting there looking at the engine right now, trying to figure out what is wrong with that boat.
I'll tell you what's wrong with it. What they did, it was going into the corner a little too hot, trying to catch the Fountain Cumberland boat. They spun the boat out, tore the drives off the back.
And the view from above the Key Bridge over the course of a few hundred yards, #1 Voyager pulls just a few feet ahead.
This is purely a battle of willpower right now. They've got trim in those boats. They've got throttles in those boats. They're just dealing with inches, Reggie.
There they are. Right now we're sitting here with the Lake Cumberland Fountain first being chased by the Fountain Parks Limited.
And the green flag is out, as is the checkered. These guys are coming home to pick it up. Then Robertson and Mitch Miller have taken a win in that boat, and they will display that checkered with great pride, and rightfully so.
The Factory 2 results, we see the Lake Cumberland Fountain over the Treadwell Motorsports, a Fountain over a Formula.
By the way, the F215 was running in second place at the end, but a 3-minute penalty pushes them back to 9th spot.
The competition is heating up because a lot of guys were closer to us today, and that's going to be the last couple races going to get tougher, so you're going to see more action.
Lake Cumberland takes the season lead over the relentless Matco Voyager.
Great racing and more to come. We are off and racing in the F1s. Right off the bat, we have got a battle shaping up.
And what you have right here is identical power. And this is what happens. You drop the hammer, and all the boats accelerate together. The mid-range on these engines is identical. The acceleration is identical, and the top end should be basically the same speed, as you can see in this tight racing for the lead.
These guys have worked hard to balance these boats up. Ben Robertson and Richard Granville have both worked very hard on their boats. They're in the lead here. They've got them both on the edge. It's some real tight racing here. The balance is very important. Here comes Richard chasing him, and they're all hot on each other's trails right here now.
There's a big pass. That's going to put the number 91 going by 60, so that means the Team Warlock Jim Arvis and Lance Hendrickson have now taken the lead. You're looking at the F-117 Raising Cane for a moment there. Here's the Ale House boat also in a big battle.
60 is in third, followed by 13 who is gaining. That water roughed up just a little bit for these small boats.
Team progression, Kevin Lothran and Scott Hodem in that 27-foot progression. They're holding in right now in 5th place, battling the O2, which is the Warlock powerboats of Richard Granville and Carter Reed. And here's your lead boat coming across with the checkered flag. Congratulations, the F1 91 taking it, Jim Arbus and Lance Hendrickson. So in Factory 1, it's Team One passing the A21 Extreme Motion Team. The C-Class was an uncontested race as Jim Arbus piloted the C4 home to take the checkered flag and secure some extra points for the Mountain Dew Warlock. The E91 Team Warlock takes the checkers this time over the E76 Fountain, driven by Reggie Fountain III.
I love the speed.
How fast can a V-bottom go? Well, you find out in Super V. What do? You put 2 of the biggest V8 engines in the world inside, supercharge them, hit the throttles, and go over 130 miles an hour. Art Lilly and Jeff Harris have to be considered the favorites on Art's home course.
But last year was different. Art and Jeff were in rival boats when catastrophe struck. Would you believe the white Dramamine boat survived? David Woods recently bought it. Now it wears the Pier 57 colors. It's the number 2 Super V Light, twin to the number 1. Pier 57 hired driver Joey Gratton, former Team Boathouse throttleman. Joey was sad to leave Boathouse, but glad to join David Woods on this team. The pace boat with the green flag up. These boats are released. They are underway. And right off the bat, we're going to see a Super V battle. It looks like the Citgo Super Guard is trying to get out in front. He's got a problem way on the outside.
Here they coming into the first corner. They're still all tied up here, but you'll see that Art Lilly is where he's used to being. He's pulling out front and getting ready to set up for this first corner.
Out front, Art Lilly, Jeff Harris. That is the team to beat always in the Super V class.
And they're in a tight race with Voyager. That's Martin Sanborn and Scott Welland. They're out on the trail of the boat. You'll see the 2 of them competing fiercely throughout this race.
Look who has crept into 2nd place. Again, Steve and David on the inside of the course, cutting down the angles, cutting down the distance. You can see there's more top end in the Voyager on the long end of the straightaway, but the Super Guard, by taking the inside line, is picking up needed distance in each turn.
There you see the Pier 57 number 2 boat, Super V Light, leading the Pier 57 number 1 boat. The number 2 is driven by Wyatt Fountain, and Joey Gratton is on the throttle. It's a 39-foot fountain, and it is performing flawlessly.
And here's Art Lilly again. He's out front where he usually is. He's burning this field up. He's miles in front and going away.
Wow, that's a bad break for the Voyager team. They had it running so beautifully out there, but again, we talk about attrition, and that can happen in these waters. So that means the Citgo Super Guard is now the 2nd place boat in the Super Vs.
Now it's Super V Light, the number 2 boat is in the lead. The new team, Joey Gratton and Wyatt Fountain, are ahead of their boss. That might not be good politically, but that Fountain blood, Wyatt.
2 guys that really know how to power it on, and they are going to take the checkered flag.
And they're both thanking David Woods.
What a turnaround a year makes. From upside down and sunk to the lead, the Pier 57 Fountain number 2 boat wins the Super V Light final. They've got a big row to hoe to catch up to the number 1 boat, which is way out in front in the national points race with 727 points.
Now we turn to the Super V, and of course, you had to be no surprise at all with Art Lilly and Jeff Harris celebrating in the FountainUSA.com. Citgo Super Guard was 2nd, and the Matco Voyager went out with engine problems to take 3rd.
That's 2 in a row, last year and this year in the hometown. You know, it was a few races before that. I didn't think we were ever going to get a 1st place, but here we are, 2 in a row. Great race.
You can see they are sitting on top by 24 points. Matco Voyager took a drop when that engine dropped out on them. There's only been 3 boats to win in Supercat so far this year, and every time this boat has been the bridesmaid.
It's going to get serious in a couple minutes, believe me.
In Baltimore, Maryland, it is Supercat Racing.
The fastest and most the #1 class of offshore powerboat racing anywhere. Super Cats. They have identical engines based on a NASCAR formula. These guys can really get it on, and this course is made for them today.
And boy, the competition right from the top through the bottom in the listing is very red hot. It is good time racing. The Fountain Mercury team of Hugh Fuller and Jerry Gilbreth took the points lead in St. Clair, where their boat ran perfectly, allowing them to win by a huge margin.
Not only did they knock the Don Q from the points pedestal, Fountain Mercury put Felix Sorales and Pat Patel a lap down.
It was quite an embarrassment to get lapped in a race, and to be honest with you, it's the first time it happened to me, and probably first time it ever happened to Felix. So, rest assured, we're going to be running real hard against you and Jerry. We'll be all right this race, I promise.
The Baltimore course. It's short, it's calm, and has very tight turns. That means it needs top acceleration. The team that's worked the most on that in Super Cat is Team Extreme.
We've had some tough problems here in the first few races, and I think that we're starting to get everything worked out. Wyatt Cox did a fantastic job for us. What I'm looking for is just a little bit more experience in the corners.
And for experienced Dan is lured Jack Carmody, the driver who won a championship in this old Carlos and Charlie's Cat. Extreme's rear deck says it all. Big Jack is back.
Dan's been getting used to it. He's got several races under his belt, and I think we're ready to go out and push it to the limit.
Let's talk Super Cat racing. And here they come down. The green flag is about to fly. And there it is. Right off the bat, the number 76 Fountain Mercury is trying to take the lead and hold on to it. Jelly Belly gone again. Is trying to move up on the outside.
The flag is not the only thing flying. Look at the Fountain Mercury. That boat is so tough, but Don Q style. They brought a little something extra today, and so did the Relief Band. Gone again, though. The acceleration on the floor. Fountain Mercury on the inside. It's anybody's race right now. Look at them roar down the straightaway. This is the backstretch. It's still a tight anybody's race under the first grade.
But you can see the Fountain Mercury on acceleration out of the corner is falling behind. Big difference from this race to the previous race. It had 500 extra pounds dumped right in that boat.
But as you can see, the inside boat has the advantage out of the turn. It is the Fountain Mercury, number 76, with just a slight lead over the Don Christel. Felix Sorales and Pat Patel trying to find every ounce of power they can in the big blue boat.
The 500-pound penalty, you can almost see it working right now. That 36-foot skater has been the smallest and quickest around the course. She's carrying extra weight this time. And Jerry Gilbreth, who's got to be arguably one of the finest setup guys in the sport, he's got his hands full. Big challenge today. Don Q Christel, well, they've done their homework, too. They've added some more miles an hour in the big blue bomber. Number 88 just squeaking by the number 76. That is a surprise.
There you see the third place boat. Charlie Hames trying to find the extra power that he can in the Relief Band boat, and they're doing a great job on the wheel, and that boat is Russell Wilkins.
This wheel is as tight as it has ever been in Super Cat, except for Cat Can Do. Just eating up, going against Extreme. He's entering the challenge, too. Those two have a race of their own going on right now.
They certainly do, and it is a great race, too. We're focusing in right there on Jelly Belly. Gone again, the number 7 boat. They've apparently got a problem aboard that boat. They were racing so solid, too. Now you can see the number 76 battling 24 for second place. That's out of turn number 2. They head down toward the bridge, and look who's right up in there. Cat Can Do.
The 76 pushing the Relief Band out has left a lane for Cat Can Do. Cat Can Do is looking at that inside lane right now. They're going to try to sneak in there, but this guy, Don Q Christel, Felix Sorales, and Pat Patel, they have got the keys right now, but you know they're thinking 76 is back there. 76 is going to lighten up their fuel load. Are they going to catch it?
Well, that's going to be the key to the race. Number 24 is still locked up in the battle with the number 76, the Fountain Mercury. And there you can see 76 finding some battle.
Oh, look at this side-by-side racing. Relief Band at the long end of the straightaway, taking the lead over the Fountain Mercury. In the turns, the littler Fountain Mercury still can get around quicker. And it's odd to see Jerry Gilbreth having to use that much in the turns to stay in this race.
And problems for Cat Can Do. Cat Can Do going down. That's Keith Holmes and Barry Klovic, and that 40-foot skater. Extreme goes by.
Right now is for second place. Relief Band has gotten their nose up ahead of the 76 Fountain Mercury. Whoa! Relief Band is now down. The 76 Mercury is back in second place. Just that quick. That's the best showing for Relief Band so far this season. It's got to be a heartbreaker for the team in there. 76 has come back on Don Q.
They certainly have used that little margin there to clear the water out, and now they are closing in. Meanwhile, Extreme is now running third, and they are trying to mount a charge. You got to believe, with Jack Carmody in that boat, a man who knows about championships, he has got that boat running hard.
Meanwhile, back out front, the Don Q. Cristal still holding a lead over the 76 Fountain. But you know, in that boat with Jerry Gilbert and Hugh Fuller, they've got something in reserve. Jerry is so cagey. You never know with him, and he's gotten by the Don Q. Cristal. Always something in his back pocket.
It looks like the 88 has slowed down. They may have had a problem, so now you have to wonder about the Extreme, because they can come up and maybe get second place. Meanwhile, look at this boat. Reggie, you talked about a perfect setup. Now we're seeing one from a Fountain Mercury boat, and they take the win. Great job by Hugh Fuller, who's standing there with the checkered, and Jerry Galbraith. Well, the fans here in Baltimore, Rich, got a great day of Super Cat racing.
What a race. I mean, they've had some extra weight in that 76 boat. The result is the same, but the race itself was very different. Don Q. Cristal almost got the victory, but you know, you can never count out Hugh Fuller and Jerry Gilbreth.
We did not have the best boat. We were not the fastest. Fortunate for us, relief band broke. He would have beaten us, and Don Q slowed down at the end. If he hadn't slowed down, I think both of them could have beaten us. So it took everything we had. We started cutting the corners super close, carrying a lot more speed. We're almost on the edge of being dangerous, trying to gain every second lap we could just to catch them.
Normally, these boats are supposed to go faster at the end of the race. You lose the gas, and the boat should go faster. We were going slower. We apparently thought we had an engine problem, or as Felix said, a tab problem. Maybe the other one went down. And sure enough, when we pulled it out, we apparently hit something in the harbor. It must have been a telephone pole, because it was pretty wide, and it white bolted the skegs out. We're lucky that we didn't have a serious accident after those chunks were out. It was a defining moment in that we realized immediately what the problem was, and it saved a lot of other grief for a lot of people.
Good, clean racing, and the points race, well, the 76 Fountain Mercury with that victory take a commanding 30-point lead in the Super Cat team points.
Fans in Baltimore have seen some great racing today, and next time we'll be coming to you from Buffalo, New York in the Buffalo Offshore Challenge. For Rich Lors, Reggie Fountain, this is Dick Crippen. So long. We'll see you next time.